Disaster! Arsenal's dream of finding a replacement for Martinelli has just been shattered. But wait, did Arteta just confirm Martinelli is finished at Arsenal by freezing him out against Man United? Plus the shocking truth about why Kai Havertz didn't even make the bench, and Saliba missing training after his worst performance in years. Gooners, you need to hear this! What's up, Gooners? Real quick, smash that like button right now because this video is packed with concerning news and controversial takes that you absolutely need to hear. Let's go! Right, let's start with the transfer blow that could define Arsenal's summer. Kenan Yildiz is expected to renew his contract with Juventus, effectively ending Andrea Berta's hopes of bringing him to Arsenal. According to Tuttosport, the 20-year-old Turkish international is becoming more and more convinced about staying in Turin and committing his future to Juventus. This is massive because Yildiz was Arsenal's key target to replace Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard on the left wing. And let's be honest, both Martinelli and Trossard are approaching the end of their time at the Emirates. Trossard is aging, Martinelli is too inconsistent for a title-challenging team. Upgrading that position is essential. Yildiz would have been perfect. Look at his numbers this season. 9 goals and 8 assists in 29 matches for Juventus. That's 17 goal involvements. Compare that to Martinelli's 9 and Trossard's 14. Yildiz is literally outperforming both of our current left wingers. The 20-year-old is one of the hottest commodities on the continent right now. He's got pace, skill, end product, and he's only going to get better. He would have been a seriously good fit for Mikel Arteta's system. But Juventus have been negotiating with Yildiz for a while now, and while they haven't found an agreement yet, the player is leaning towards staying. That window of opportunity Arsenal had is closing fast. Berta should be throwing everything at Yildiz to convince him to choose North London. Every resource, every connection, every persuasive argument, because losing out on him means going back to square one in finding Martinelli's replacement. And speaking of Martinelli, let's talk about the elephant in the room from the Man United game. Martinelli didn't just fail to start against United, he was an unused substitute. Didn't get on the pitch once, despite Arsenal desperately chasing a goal in the second half. Think about how mad that is. We're losing at home to Man United. We need creativity. We need attacking spark. And Arteta leaves Martinelli glued to the bench. Instead, what does Arteta do? He shifts Bukayo Saka to the left wing to accommodate Noni Madueke on the right, when the more logical move would have been to bring on Martinelli on the left and keep Saka where he's most effective. This move suggests Arteta doesn't particularly trust Martinelli right now, and that's brutal for the Brazilian. He's watching from the sidelines as his manager shows zero faith in him during a crucial game. You combine this with Arsenal actively pursuing Yildiz as his replacement, and the writing is on the wall. Martinelli's Arsenal career is genuinely in danger. If Yildiz or another left winger arrives this summer, Martinelli is gone. The Brazilian will not have been impressed by Arteta's decision. And honestly, I don't blame him. To not even get a chance when your team is losing at home? That's a message. A clear, brutal message that you're not trusted anymore. Martinelli needs to wake up. He needs to force his way back into Arteta's plans between now and the end of the season. Because if he doesn't, and Arsenal sign Yildiz or someone similar, he'll be packing his bags. Now let's talk about Kai Havertz, because the explanation for his absence against Man United is absolutely shocking. Havertz hasn't featured in the Premier League since match day 1. He had knee surgery early in the season to resolve an injury. Months later, we've only seen him play 29 minutes since returning. And against Man United, he didn't even make the squad. In the days before the United game, reports said Havertz had suffered a flare-up in his knee, so everyone assumed that's why he missed out. Injury, simple explanation, wrong. According to The Athletic, Havertz missed out due to competition purposes. Not injury, competition. Let me read you the exact quote from their report. The likes of Kai Havertz and Christian Norgard were left out of the matchday squad entirely. Arsenal are in a position where senior internationals are failing to make the substitutes bench. Think about what that means. Kai Havertz, a 26-year-old German international, a player Arsenal are paying massive wages to, couldn't even make the bench against Manchester United because other players are ahead of him. Yes, Havertz is still far from full fitness. The report confirms that. But the primary reason he missed out? Squad depth, competition, other players being better, and here's what makes this even crazier. In his pre-match press conference, Arteta gave no indication Havertz would miss out. He was asked about fitness concerns and said Arsenal had no issues after the Inter Milan game where Havertz made the bench. Then Arteta talked about competition in the striker role, saying everyone will get opportunities and minutes with games coming thick and fast. At no point did Arteta suggest Havertz was carrying an injury significant enough to rule him out, which means his omission from the matchday squad was, in fact, due to competition. So what does this mean for Havertz's season? What does the remainder of the campaign look like for a player who can't even make the bench? This is genuinely concerning. Arsenal signed Victor Gyökeres in the summer, and while he had a slow start, he's finding form now. That's the starting striker spot locked down. Behind Gyökeres, you've got other attacking options who are fit and performing. Havertz is still building fitness and hasn't played enough to find rhythm. He's caught in no man's land. And with Arsenal competing on four fronts, fighting for the Premier League title and Champions League glory, Arteta cannot afford sentiment. He needs players who are ready now. Players he trusts. Havertz clearly isn't in that category at the moment. The question becomes, can he work his way back? Can he get fit, get minutes in cup games, prove he deserves a spot in the matchday squad for league games? Or is this the beginning of the end for Havertz at Arsenal? A slow fade into irrelevance where he becomes the forgotten man, watching from the stands as Arsenal chase trophies without him? Time will tell, but right now things look bleak for the German international. He needs a turnaround, and he needs it fast. Final story, and it's about William Saliba, who missed training ahead of the Kairat Almaty Champions League match. Now, context is important here. Saliba had arguably his worst performance in an Arsenal shirt against Manchester United. The Frenchman was far from his best. Uncharacteristically shaky, made mistakes, looked uncomfortable. It was almost mythical to see Saliba have a bad game because it happens so rarely. But against United, he genuinely struggled. So when Saliba and three other players missed Arsenal's open training session, worry set in. Is he injured? Is something wrong? Did that poor performance against United signal a bigger problem? Mikel Arteta addressed this in his pre-match press conference and confirmed that Saliba did not train because he's not going to feature against Kairat due to a niggle. Those players are out, Arteta said. They have some niggles, and it is a good opportunity to get them in the best possible condition for the weekend. Jurrien Timber is in the same situation, small niggles, being rested for the Kairat game to ensure they're fully fit for the weekend. Now, this is where Arsenal's squad depth becomes crucial. In previous seasons, losing Saliba to even a minor niggle would have been a disaster. We'd panic. We'd worry about who plays centre-back. But this season, Arsenal recruited Christian Mosquera and Piero Hincapié in the summer. Two quality centre-backs who can step in seamlessly. This allows Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes to rotate more often. It helps manage their workload across this grueling schedule. And crucially, it means Arsenal's defensive quality doesn't drop when changes are made. Mosquera and Hincapié have both been excellent when called upon. They understand the system. They're comfortable on the ball. They defend well. Arteta trusts them. So Saliba missing the Kairat game isn't a crisis. It's smart management. Arsenal will finish in the top two of the Champions League phase regardless of the result. Kairat are already eliminated. The game has little importance. Why risk Saliba when he's carrying a niggle? Why not rest him? Get him in perfect condition for the weekend when Arsenal have another crucial Premier League game. That's intelligent squad management. That's using your depth properly. The bigger question is whether Saliba's poor performance against United was connected to this niggle. Was he playing through discomfort? Was that why he looked off his game? If so, that's actually good news. It means his struggles weren't tactical or mental. They were physical, a niggle affecting his performance. Once he's fully fit again, he'll be back to his world-class best. And with Mosquera and Hincapié available, Arsenal can afford to be patient. No need to rush Saliba back. Let him recover properly. Make sure he's 100% before the next big game. This is the luxury of having genuine squad depth. You can manage players carefully without panicking. Alright Gooners, 3 tough stories today. Yildiz likely staying at Juventus, ending our hopes of signing the perfect Martinelli replacement. Havertz can't even make the bench due to squad competition. And Saliba being rested with a niggle after his worst game in years. I need your honest opinions in the comments. If Yildiz stays at Juve, who should Arsenal target as the Martinelli replacement? Bradley Barcola? Someone else? Give me names. Is Kai Havertz's Arsenal career effectively over, or can he still turn this around and become important again? And after that United performance, are you worried about Saliba, or was it just a one-off bad game caused by his niggle? Drop your takes below. Let's debate this properly, because these are genuine concerns for Arsenal's season. If you're not subscribed, subscribe now and turn on notifications for daily Arsenal content just like this. Thanks for watching, Gooners, and remember, come on you Gunners!